On this episode, I am giving you 3 things you need to consider before putting your house on the market. Coming up. Welcome, I'm your host, Steve Pinate, realtor and host of the Steve Talks Real Estate Show, where we bring you value, content, and tips in all things real estate and housing related. So on this episode, I am talking to sellers. There are a lot of areas in the Phoenix Metropolitan area that are hot. You can probably consider them a seller's market. As a matter of fact, I've recently listed a couple houses. All of them have gone under contract within 1 to 3 days, and all of them have received offers over asking price. What does that mean? That means that sellers probably have the upper hand in a lot of areas. But before you get too excited and race to go list your house, here are 3 things you need to consider as a seller before putting your house on the market. Number 1, check the inventory in the market you are wanting to move into. Get with your real estate agent, and prior to listing your house, make sure that there's a house on the other side of the transaction that you want to buy. I recently advised one of my clients that was listing with me, hey, before you put your house on the market, make sure that there's something you actually want to buy on the other end. Selling a house isn't only about walking away with your equity, but you need somewhere to go. So you want to make sure you know what's out there, you know the temperature, you know what the market looks like, because you are about to become a buyer once your house goes under contract. Number 2, make sure your house is ready to sell. What does that mean? That means that you might have to paint some rooms. That might mean you might have to do some repairs. It's very interesting that most of the time, people that sell a house expect a lot from the house they're buying, but the house they're selling, they want to do very little. Keep in mind, if you, the seller, want to receive top dollar for your house has to be in tip-top shape. How do you know if your house is in tip-top shape? Well, walk through it as a potential buyer. The exact same mindset, the exact same attitude you have walking into the houses that are for sale, and those remarks you make about the house you're seeing, make the same remarks about your own house, and then you'll know how to get your house in tip-top shape. You don't want to be that seller that gets frustrated trying to rush the whole process. Instead, plan well and list your house when it's ready to rock and roll. Number 3, make sure it makes sense financially for you. Make sure you and your real estate agent and your family as well, make sure you're going over the numbers. A lot of people oftentimes sell with very little equity to no equity and end up getting into a situation they weren't really expecting. Make sure before you list your house, you're talking numbers with the lender. What's your payment on the next house going to look like? What does your down payment look like? Closing costs, inspection fees, appraisal fees. Keep in mind that if you are going to sell your house, make sure you plan well for your next move. It could be that renting might make more sense for a while. Whatever it is, don't sell a house without a plan. Well, that wraps up episode number 50. Can you believe we are 50 episodes in? Pumps me up, because I'm bringing you the best in real estate. Keep sending in your questions, and I will do my best to keep answering them. We'll see you next time.